all you read about is sex. You're going to do it so much more.
Yeah.
And when people are single, they think sex is everything.
Oh my God.
You know, we should tell them that there is more to life than sex.
Yeah. If it was everything, then we would be in bed even right now.
Yes, you are. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. You're a woman without limits. Woman. You're a woman without limits. Woman without limits. Woman.
And you've got to set goals young as you are.
Exactly.
Don't leave your life to chance. If you leave your life to chance, you won't have a chance. If you leave your life to chance, you won't have a chance.
Exactly.
I'm reminded of this funny story of this guy who was traveling from his town to a nearby town. And as he walked down the lonely forest road, he noticed that there were arrows that had hit a bullseye. You remember like the bullseye, like the one in darts?
Yes.
And after every so many meters, he would see a tree with a bullseye mark. And he wondered to himself, what marksman is this? Who is this marksman? When he got into the town, he asked, can you tell me who is that marksman? And this person showed up, this elderly person showed up and said, I am the marksman. And he asked him, how were you able to hit bullseye in all those times, on all those trees? He said, no, I didn't have to struggle. I just throw my arrow. Wherever it hits, I go draw a bullseye there.
Oh, wow.
And you know, there are many people who do that. You know, you try something, if it happens by accident, you're saying, that's what I wanted to do. But you know something?
Wow.
Yeah. Don't be a phony marksman. Know what you want to do in life. Let your goals be well defined. Where do you want to be 10 years from now? 20 years from now? Where do you want to be 30 years from now? You know, let them be measurable. Say by the end of this year, I want to have accomplished this much of my goal. By the end of next year, I want to have accomplished this much of my goal.
And also simplify them.
Yes, and simplify them.
Don't be complicated. You know, I met somebody else who told me, I have 15 goals.
Wow.
I'm like, please, can you at least try one?
Try one.
Those are 15 lifetimes.
Yeah, you know. I have 15 goals, I have 15 visions, and you know me, I'm going places.
Simplify.
I said, please start the places by seeing one vision and following after that. Because it is that one that will grow into the rest.
Into another.
Yeah.
And for you to be committed to it, you've got to make it visual. Write it down. Write it down and then make it visual. Put it on your mirror where you brush your teeth every morning. And it will be reminding you that by the end of this year, you should have finished your degree. Commit yourself. But at the end of it, something I've seen that is so important for young people is that be flexible. If it doesn't happen by the date you wanted it to happen, don't kill yourself.
Don't kill yourself.
Revisit and review. Yes.
Yeah.
But whatever you do as a young person, set goals. Goals will let you know when you have arrived. If you don't have a goal in this life, any road will take you there. Or you will be rudely thrown off the vehicle because you never arrive. Know where you want to be in life. And
so setting goals is very important for young people. If you're a single person, begin to set goals now, okay? And then work on them. So Mercy, here you are, your goals were set, and then you met this guy and he decided, okay, this is who I want.
Yes.
Did you say yes?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes.
No, I didn't. It took time, you know, because I had to pray about it. He didn't ask immediately, of course, there was a history, whatever happened. But now when he asked, I had taken time to pray. For me, it took time to pray and fast because I needed to be sure that it's God. I've seen the mistake that people make when they choose the wrong partner, when they choose someone who's totally not the right person. And so I wanted to make my decisions right. And I think it's important that every move that we make, that we ask God what it is.
Is this it?
Yeah, what is it? Is this it? And so he told me, that's it. And so when he did, well,
The rest is history, as they say.
Yes.
Now, so, okay, when it comes now to your goals, you had already set goals, this is what you wanted as a musician, and you had already become a name, as a household name. So when he was meeting you, everybody already knew you. So even as you were singing How Great Thou Art, he was already like, wow, you know? So how did he take that? How about insecurity? Because a lot of men, especially, when women have gone up there, they're really intimidated.
I think you'll meet an insecure person if you're also insecure. And also, you will meet an insecure person if, okay, insecure people, you can tell them. You can tell
who is insecure.
Yes, you can tell. But so for me, I needed someone who's confident in themselves, who know who they are, who know where they're going, who know what their assignment is, and who can take my assignment and not be intimidated by it. If he did not know where he was going, that would have been a problem.
So he already knew
what he wanted.
Did that vision flow with yours?
Yes, it did.
It did?
It had to.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow. So it just married through and worked together. Wow, that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow, you know what? Now setting goals. Are you understanding all this? As a single person, are you know, are you getting it? Because as a single person, you don't need to be bored with life and wondering, oh my God, oh my Lord. You know, when another birthday comes now, you're not even telling people. It's like, please leave my business alone. You know, you need to understand that you can be single and satisfied and enjoy until the next stage of life. Amen? Okay? So the other thing is hanging out with positive people. As a single person. Come on. Hang out with positive people. What are you doing with people who are negative? People who will always pull you back. And nowadays I hear they are even saying, you know, why don't you backslide and marry first? Then go back to church. Have you heard that? Or why don't you get a baby? You know, just get a child. You know, why can't you just... Where is the trust for God? Why won't you trust the Lord if you've trusted him this far? Don't you think he's capable?
He is.
As a single person, he is capable. And so my question to you is, who are you hanging out with? Because if you don't hang out with like-minded people, you know, people are like a lift. This is what Bishop always says. They are like a lift. They'll either take you up or down. But somewhere, they'll take you.
They'll take you somewhere.
And you must ask yourself, where is this company taking me? What do we discuss when we meet?
If all you talk about is sex, I mean, you're going to do it.
You're going to do it. If all you watch is sex, you're going to do it some more. If all you read about is sex, you're going to do it so much more.
And when people are single, they think sex is everything.
Oh, my God.
You know, we should tell them that there is more to life than sex.
If it was everything, then we would be in bed even right now.
You're right.
You know, it's not everything. And many times when we are sleeping, you're probably suspecting we are doing that. Many times we are sleeping. My question to you, as a single person, by the way, we're going to give you even the wrong reasons for marriage. We're going to tell you shortly the wrong reasons for marriage. As a single person, who are you involved with? Who are you hooking up with? Are you? And you know, there's so many single people who are also moving around with people who are not marrying them. They are not saying they won't.
Coffee, coffee.
Neither are they saying they will.
Neither are they saying they will. They're just there. Do you see? I don't think so. I think it's time for the man. After 2 coffees, he needs to decide. Come on, somebody.
To state his
case. Well, okay, why are we doing these coffees? Perhaps. Because you see, women are relational. We need to know, okay, you know, because you may be hanging out with somebody. He doesn't want you to go out with other people, but he's not saying where you're going out with him, where you're headed. Do you see? And as a single person, you need to understand, if he's wasting your time, then you need to know what to do. Because you need to move on. As such, you know, am I making sense?
Very true.
So that you don't hang out with somebody who's not saying anything. They are not, you know, and then suddenly they bring you a wedding card, and you're crying there. Oh God, the worst day of my life.
After all this time,
asking, did I say anything?
You're very right.
You know, did
that
I
happens?
Did I ever say anything?
You
know, Yeah.
The worst thing is to enter a bus and it's supposed to go to Kisumu, and you just sit there for, 2 days, and you're going nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're
That's
going
what
nowhere.
people do when they're in relationships with people who are not staying. Like for me, my husband, on the second date, he clearly stated that, I want you for me.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
That is the way.
That's the way.
We don't have
Me,
two
the
lifetimes.
first night, my husband said, by the way, me, I want to get married.
The first.
The first night.
The first night.
I'm telling you, we went for coffee at Utali. And as we sat down like this, I'm telling you, we were hot. Utali. Hey. We're Utali. And imagine the first night, he said to me, I want to get married. That's what he said.
That's beautiful.
That's what he said. He said, I want to get married.
Yeah.
That was his goal in life. Now
Exactly.
this is where I am here right now.
Yeah.
This is where I am at right now. And I was like, whoo, all right.
Yeah, it's
and that's
beautiful.
the beauty about it.
Yes.
To know from the word get-go where it is you're headed,
Yeah.
if you have any future at all.
Yeah.
When my wife and I met, we were pretty young, like I said.
Yeah.
So we were not like ready to marry the next available Saturday.
Yes.
So we set a time and we said we're going to get married 5 years from now.
Okay.
With obvious reasons, because we had to clear school and all that.
Yeah.
But we never finished 5 years. At
Yeah.
least we managed about 4 years.
4.
But we had a goal set that after this time, you're going to get married.
We want to get married, yeah.
We were young, but we were serious about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember getting my salary and getting a good portion of it and sending for a diamond ring from London. I had this pilot friend. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember Nando's had just opened up in town when I was proposing. And I got her 21 rose flowers for 21 years. I didn't even want a waiter to serve her. I served them myself. Then I proposed to her using the third persona narrative of there was this girl that, you know. And then I finished the whole story by telling her, this is the girl, You are the one that I've been in love with. And you know something?
Then you became all poetic.
I tell you.
Hey.
Every girl's dream.
Every girl's dream.
Yeah.
I got a ring from London, a diamond ring that she wears to date, 14 years later.
14 years of knowing her.
Yes.
Of engaging
actually,
her.
15 years of knowing her.
Yeah.
11 years of marriage.
Yeah.
And almost 14 years since engagement.
Since engagement.
She still has it.
Yeah.
Then I engaged her in Grand Regency when I was in my early 20s.
Wow.
And that was like the
Even
hottest
you are a bad
place
boy,
in town.
Hey.
Then I married her by a swimming pool. And the rest is PE.
And oh, wow. That's amazing. Isn't that all ladies' dreams?
Yes.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's talk.
The details.
And then something else, I think just something else to mention. When it comes to wrong companionship, at times, it's not just about the person you're hanging out with from the opposite gender.
Yeah.
It is also about the girlfriends you're hanging out with as a girl.
Come on.
Because some of them are not interested in marriage. They're not interested in having the best in life. And listen, the good book, the Bible says that bad company corrupts. Evil company corrupts.
Yeah.
They will mess up your life.
Totally.
And human beings are very impressionable beings. And you never graduate from peer pressure.
Yeah.
I've come to realize even an 8-year-old show will influence an 8-year-old show.
I know.
Yeah.
It's true. Peer pressure is bad. Do you know, when I was actually about to get married, a friend of mine, very good friend, came to me and said, I know this man about 10 miles more than you know him. And he ain't serious with you. This is a good friend, a very good friend. And I was like, hey, what do you mean? And she said, yeah, in fact, I don't think he's a serious man with you. Meanwhile, I came to realize it was just jealousy. Nothing else but jealousy.
Wrong company.
And just wrong company. Now, imagine if I hang on to that and thought he's not serious. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, we've just been together. What are you talking about, not serious? We are so serious, we are getting married.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what I was telling her. We are so serious, we're getting married. What do you mean? And she says, what, he's already proposed to you? I said, yes. And you could see, but you know what, she was even talking about her not coming to the wedding and all that. So what you're saying is true. Sometimes company, you must, some friends, quote unquote, may not be that close.
Yeah.
They may look like friends, but they don't want the best for you. And it's good for you as a single person to ask yourself, what company am I keeping?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it the right company?
And never say you're
Do I
so
need it?
spiritual.
Yeah.
Never say you're so spiritual. Never say you're so old.
Yeah.
Even an 80-year-old shosho, like I was saying,
Yeah.
you might visit your grandmother who's 80 years old, and she'll tell you, I mean, they will also have that peer influence amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And really, if you're hanging out with girls that are sleeping with their man,
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time.
And you
Or
will be doing a
wicked
180
things.
on the floor.
It's just
Yeah.
a matter of, you know, that you'll be doing a 180 on the floor. Oh, God. Now, the other thing is, what about respecting yourself? Because there is also that part, as a single person, do you respect yourself? Because
Exactly.
that is a critical thing.
Yeah.
Do you respect yourself? Do you respect and honor yourself?
Yeah. As a single person, you must get to a place where you set your own boundaries in your mind. We live in a culture that is so sexualized that the boundaries for sex must be internalized. They must be in your mind.
In your mind.
You must tell yourself that I can't go that far. That far, no farther.
Yeah.
You've got to start respecting yourself. Again, to single women.
Yeah.
You know, a man will automatically begin to respect a woman that respects herself.
That respects herself.
Yeah.
But if you're freely giving,
Yeah.
he will freely take.
And freely live.
And freely live.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day. So
Yes.
you have to ask yourself, am I respecting myself enough to say no? By the way, no is an answer.
Yeah.
No is an answer.
As
And
good
it
as
doesn't-
yes.
and it's as good as yes. And you don't even have to explain.
Yeah.
You know, but just say no. Because at the end of the day, if you don't respect yourself, as a single person, even the man is not going to respect you.
Exactly.
He's going to come into your space, he's going to use your body, he's going to finish with you and dump you and move on to the next one. You know?
Very
and it
true.
didn't start with you, it started a long time ago.
Yeah.
Remember, they took a woman and said, this one, Jesus, let me help you. We caught her
In the
ourselves.
act.
Yeah.
In the act. And me, I believe as Jesus was writing down, he was asking, if she was in the act, was she alone?
And the truth is,
Where
we're in a
is the joker?
society,
You
we're in
know?
a society that
Yeah.
judges women more harshly.
Yeah.
Even then, they
Yeah.
removed the guy
Yeah.
and they pulled the lady
Yeah.
and they judged the lady.
Yeah. So a lot of ladies are selling themselves short because you see, at the end of the day, the man is good to go. The man is good to go. If you open up yourself, he's good to go. So it's you as the woman who's got to respect yourself enough as a woman without limits to say no. To say, because why? If you don't respect yourself sexually, then you're going to get abused all the time. The men are going to use you and misuse you and dump you. And at the end of the day, you're just going to be crying and saying, oh, God, men are dogs. You know, I mean, men have been called all manner of names. Oh, God, they are dogs. They don't think. What? But at the end of the day, didn't you allow them into your space? Because it was not a rape, and he didn't hold a gun at your head. You just willingly gave.
You opened up.
Sacrifice. you know, you just sacrificed and just gave, willingly. So you have to respect yourself and your body enough to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that direction. And then don't invite a man in your house alone, for heaven's sake. Do you see? And then you say, oh, he's a dog. No. You invited him to your house, and you are the two of you, and body not be wood. At the end of the day, something is going to happen. Do you see? So even if you're going to invite him somewhere, then let somebody else be there. Have other people around you. Am I talking? Is that the truth? I mean, really, respect yourself, respect your body.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Another thing that we look at is, what about your connection with God as a single person?
Yes.
It's the most important thing at the end of the day. If you don't have that relationship with God, because you know yourself, everything is around your relationship with God.
Yeah.
If you don't have that time with God, because most of the time, I realize people mess up a lot when they're not having, just killing flesh.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Because personally, when I realized, there are times you really feel the heat, and you feel that you sense is not coming into your head.
Yes.
And so I think killing your flesh, meaning that relationship with God, is what helps a lot everybody to survive.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
And understand that there is someone that is higher than you.
Exactly.
Someone that will help you through your singlehood. this is your creator. He loves you and he cares for you.
Yeah.
And you have more to gain from your relationship with him than you'd ever imagine.
Even with any other relationship.
And when you humble yourself to him and give your life to him, it's going to be one of the most fruitful experiences you'd ever have in life. And even before you get married, connect with God. The best illustration here we can give is the cross of Calvary.
Yes.
It had 2 planks, a vertical one and a horizontal one.
Exactly.
The first one symbolizing our relationship with God.
Wow. Which is longer.
Yes, and the other one symbolizing our relationship with one another. Now understand, this one goes first before this one.
Yes.
In fact, this one can exist alone. It doesn't need this one.
It doesn't need the other one.
Yes, it doesn't need this one. And the truth is, when you're walking around the farms, you will see poles standing on their own. But you will never see one suspended in, even in Ukambani, you won't see one suspended in the air like that. So you need your relationship with God. It is what will strengthen your relationship with your spouse. Yes.
By the way, the more your spouse loves God, the better for you. In fact, the more you should even push them towards God. Because if they love God, they're going to love you dangerously. So the more my husband prays, I say, pray. Maybe pray.
In fact, they did a study. They did a study and they found out that the most intimately fulfilled relationships were among religious people. In their words, the most intimately fulfilling relationships are the ones among religious people. Why? You know, your God will teach you to forgive. He will teach you to say sorry. He will teach you to ask for forgiveness. He will teach you mercy. Such that when you get to a time of intimacy, there's no beef between the two of you. And that facilitates your little heaven down here.
Little heaven, you enjoy, you know. So the more your spouse loves God, the more you should get excited. And if you don't have the spouse yet, as a single person, then your relationship with God should be so intact. It should be so strong. Nobody should detour you or move you from your relationship with God. In fact, if somebody does, then they really are not up for good. They are not up for any good. Because you see, at the end of the day, somebody must be able to understand that the priority in your life must be God.
It must be.
If they don't get it, then something is wrong. Do you see? So you must really, really, as a single person, relate with God. Let God be your number one. Let him be your everything. Like the woman with the alabaster box, she had come a mighty long way. The Bible says she was notorious, meaning she was very not. The thing she did, what you've done is a shadow. You know, she was notorious. But at the end of the day, she decided, she made up her mind, I'm gonna have a relationship with this God. And she came and bowed and didn't care who was watching, what they were thinking, what they were feeling. That was their own thing. She did business with God, loved God, worshiped God until God shows us how to worship through that woman. You know, because at the end of the day, if your relationship with God is intact, everything else is gonna fall in place.
That's right.
And if we've said nothing else, even in this program, get this right. Your relationship with God is key. If that can be mastered, everything else will fall in place.
It is what makes you whole. And even marriage is not what makes you whole.
No.
God is the one who makes you whole. And marriage is not even a union of two halves.
No.
It's a union of two whole people.
Two whole people.
That have been made whole by God. So that when you come together, you're not coming to seek security. You're not coming to seek self-esteem. You already have it. You're coming to offer it. You're coming to offer love. And God is that person that will keep you together if you let him have his rightful place while you're still a single person.
Exactly. God must be the center. He must be the center of your focus. He must be the center. He must be the ultimate. He must be everything. If God is everything, I tell you, as a single person, oh my God, let me tell you, that husband is coming. If you put God first. You know, I keep telling single girls, even when I'm ministering to daughters of Zion, I keep telling them, when I decided and allowed God to take preeminence over my life, to take the first place over my life, that is when I met my husband.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the minute you start looking, oh my God, when men are worshiping in church, you're looking, do they have rings? You know, instead of worshiping, you're looking, does he have a ring? Does he have a ring? And then if he doesn't have a ring, you worship more. Father? You know, Father, you know. The thing is this, that if you're sold out to God, he knows where you are. He knows the seat you sit on. He knows exactly where you work. He knows where you live. He knows your address. He knows, he knows you even on Facebook. He knows you. And you know what? He's going to come right where you are and give you what's rightfully yours. So your ultimate desire must be God. Yeah. Okay? Yeah.
Where do you want to take somebody's daughter if you don't even know where you're going? You know? Where do you want to take somebody's daughter if you can't even feed your one mouth? 2 mouths will only double the problem. That's simple mathematics.
Yes. Let's give you some tips of what you need to look out for so that you don't get married to in the wrong way, to the wrong people.
Oh, yes.
You must, as a single person, are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
Is this a good one? Yeah, because as a single person, if you can get this, if you can understand it, I tell you there is no stopping you. Nobody can stop you. The first and foremost thing that you need to understand is do not marry a man who has no vision.
Oh, yes.
Don't marry somebody who has no vision. They have nowhere they are going. They just have no vision. They are just, you know, because you're going to perish. Yeah. You need a man with a vision. Even if the vision has not started to be fulfilled.
Yes.
He must be somebody that's going somewhere. He knows what he wants in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because listen, he may not even have the money, but is he headed somewhere?
Yeah.
He may not be having all that and more.
Yeah.
But does he have a place he's going in life? Because if he doesn't have a vision, where is he taking you? And this is not meant to condemn young people. It is meant to encourage you that you can have a dream. You can have a vision. If you don't have a vision for your life, why do you want to get married? Where do you want to take somebody's daughter if you don't even know where you're going? You know, where do you want to take somebody's daughter if you can't even feed your one mouth? 2 mouths will only double the problem. That's simple mathematics.
Yes.
And you know something? You've got to say, this is what I want to achieve in life. Do you know the first thing God gave Adam was not a wife? The first thing God gave Adam was a job. He told him, cultivate the garden. So I hold the opinion. I hold the humble opinion that a man who is lazy does not deserve to get married. I didn't say a man without money. I said a man that is lazy.
That is lazy. He doesn't, honestly, because it's going to be chaotic. You see
it's going to be stress.
It's going to be stress. Because at the end of the day, God does not break his principles. The man must be the head. So if he's not really using his headship correctly, that will be an issue right there. So you need to marry somebody with a vision. You know, somebody that's going somewhere.
Exactly.
Number 2, don't marry for money.
Or the lack of it.
I didn't say don't marry the man if he has money. I say don't marry for money. Because if that's what you're going to go out looking out for, like he has to have money, he has to have this, he has to have this, he has to have... If you go looking out for that, that's the very thing that's going to bring you down.
Exactly.
Never marry for money.
Yes.
Yeah?
And I've come to realize that the thing that takes you away from God is the same thing that will bring you back to God, this time crying. If you leave God because of someone out there, so that you can be somebody's chips funga or umpango wa kando, you know, that thing that makes you leave God is the same thing that will bring you back. And don't love someone because they have money or because they don't have money. Because some people, some ladies have a lot of money and they want a kajama to kalia. You know, don't get married because of money or the lack of it. Of money.
It's very important. Why do you want to get married as a single person? Why? What's your motive? Because at the end of the day, if your motive is because, oh, they're going to rescue me from boredom. I'm so bored right about now. I need somebody to spice up my life.
With
Let
money.
me tell you.
They're going to add to the boredom.
You know, they're going to, it's going to be a mess, okay? It's going to be a complete mess. Also, do not marry because of sex.
Exactly.
Preach.
Preach, woman. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to preach.
There are 24 hours in a day. What will you do for the 23 hours and 30 minutes? After the 30 minutes fling, what will you do for the rest of the day?
Is it 5 or 30?
And you know 30 minutes, you've given it 25 minutes more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know. Okay. Listen, you cannot marry for sex.
Yes.
You can't. Because if that's the motive, then you're going to have that sex. In fact, they say, if you marry, mostly if you marry for sex, then it's lustful.
Yeah.
It's lustful. They say lustful marriages last for 8 months at the most.
Yeah.
After 8 months, they've had enough sex. It's like, oh, Lord, I don't want sex no more. You know, because why? It was lustful. So you see, the reason why you were marrying was just because of that. It doesn't work. Okay? So don't marry for sex as a single person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah?
Sex is not everything.
It isn't. Okay, I thought you were going to say something else, so I'm looking at you
Oh,
like, okay. Yeah? Don't marry for good looks.
Exactly.
I always tell women that, you know, good looks will not buy you meat at the butchery. You'll not go say, I have a handsome hank of a man. Then they say, okay, we have 1 kilo. No.
Yeah, because one day that might change. No matter the hormonal technological advances they come up with to keep you looking young.
Yeah.
One day some things will change.
They must.
Most of the things will
Gravity
change.
must take its course.
Her bosom will travel south
Yeah.
and rest on the laps.
Yeah.
Her cheeks might start sagging under their own weight.
You know?
You know, his muscle might turn into fat.
You know?
So
And his six-pack
might
into one-
consolidate
into one. Yeah.
Margin. It's called the abdominal margin.
We call it with Monene the jumping castle.
The jumping castle that they can't even clap like this.
Yeah.
They do like this. One day
So
your
things
kids,
change.
one day your kids will be playing hide and seek with him.
You know?
And they hide down here. And they go around looking, where are you? And they're down here.
You know, they
What
say,
will happen when it happens?
I know.
Yeah.
They say a young woman, a 20-year-old, will look for a Brad Pitt. You know, they want those muscles, they want, and then a 30-year-old, they start to minimize.
Yeah.
The six-pack can be 4 is fine.
4 is fine. 4 can
By
do.
35, I don't even mind the 1. We can work it. So at the end of the day, things do change.
Exactly.
So if you marry because of looks, then what? Do you understand? Yeah, I mean, you don't marry just because of looks. It's got to be deeper than that.
Yeah.
Is this the will of God?
Yeah.
Is this the will of God? Does God want me to be with this person? If not, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Don't marry
Yeah.
her just because she's light
Yeah.
or just because she's dark. Looks are some of the shallowest grounds upon which to build your marriage or to build your life.
Exactly.
Because they are fading beauty, they are fleeting beauty.
Yeah.
You've got to look beyond that and look at characteristics. It is said that women marry men saying, I'll change him.
Yeah.
And they never do.
They can't.
And a man marries a woman and says, she'll never change.
Yeah.
And she changes.
Yeah.
You know? But the beauty is if you love a woman for who she is, even 4 babies later,
Oh, she'll
you're
deliver.
still in love.
You're still in love.
Yeah.
It's like you just married.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, so ultimately, it's got to be the will of God, you know, not just looks, okay?
Yes.
So don't marry for looks. And also, don't marry to escape hardships. You know, like I grew up in this place, oh my God, I can't wait. You know, and at the end of the day, you're marrying because you want to run away, you know?
Making a permanent decision for a temporary one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
all these things pass. You know,
Yeah.
they come and go. Yeah, but marriage stays. You have to be there forever.
And if you run to a man because he seems to be faring better,
Yeah.
if you run to a man because he's wealthy, he's soon going to be treating you like his other possessions.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna treat you like his other possessions.
Exactly.
You need to make sure your esteem is in the right place. Don't go getting married to run away from hardship.
Yeah.
Yes,
And don't marry also because of peer pressure.
exactly.
A lot of people pressurize others to marry. Marry this one, oh, marry this one. But don't marry because of peer pressure. It's going to weigh you down. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yes, that's important. And I think also, don't marry where there's no friendship. Yeah. I hold a strong opinion
Yeah.
that before being lovers, be friends.
Be friends.
Be friends.
Yeah.
It's not just about romance. What will happen when there's no money? What will happen if sickness comes? Because I think we really need to go back to the old-time way of exchanging marriage vows. And say at all times, including those ones. Because what will happen when there's no money? What will happen if you lose the house? We pray you don't, but should you lose?
Should you? What happens
What
then?
happens?
And it happens.
And things happen. Things happen. Things happen.
And you've got to be true friends that you might not be having money, but you can sit down and laugh about it. And joke over the fact that you're sleeping hungry. That is true friendship.
Yes, that
because
is
if you marry because of money, when it quishes,
there's nothing to tie you together. It's like, you know, whatever brought you together is over now. Then what? Do you see? So don't ever do that. And you know, the other day we were coming from, we went to South Africa to minister, and then I had to leave my husband and come home because I was going to Mombasa. In fact, I came and went directly to Mombasa the same day because I had a ministry there over the weekend with Pastor Esther, my friend Masika. And so my husband was supposed to come back on the Saturday because he was finishing there, and then we were supposed to meet on the Saturday because I was also coming back Saturday, but later than him. So he calls me and tells me, honey, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can make it today. Please let me come in the week because I need to da-da-da-da-da. And you know what? The good wife. I said, okay, Han, you know, that's okay. You take your time. You're going to come. So anyway, this is what happened. When I got home, guess who was there? My husband. So what he was doing was pulling a leg. He wanted me to go and get surprised. And I was over the moon. Oh my God. Saturday night, I was like, hey, woo! You know, I really had fun. So what I'm saying is, if you're not friends, can you play such games?
No.
You can't.
It is not funny.
Exactly.
It's not. You can't play such games. But it's just because you're friends, you can be able to play some games. You can talk some things that, you know, I mean, other people don't. You can go laughing. Like us, we don't allow ourselves. You cannot read the newspaper in the car when we are driving. No. We'll read when we stop. Because, you see, we have things to talk about. And this is it. If you're a single person, you must marry a good friend, somebody that you can play with, somebody that you can run around with. You can relate with, you can joke with.
You forgive each
other. You can forgive.
Patient, because many times when you just put love, this romance feeling of love, it's just about being romantic. It may not take you very far. But if you base it on friendship, it will take you through thick and thin.
Because sometimes I call them mayoriori. It's not always there. As in
the mayoriori.
The mayoriori won't always be there. It's not all the time you'll be feeling electricity when you see your husband. It changes. But before you're married, you feel mayoriori for each other. And so it takes real friendship, by the way, to keep marriage.
That's actually what keeps marriage, good friendship. So you must build on friendship as a single person, okay? When you meet that guy, or vice versa, you must make sure that you guys are friends, all right? And the other thing is, do not marry just because you've already had sex. Don't do that. Don't marry just because you've already had sex.
Or just because you have a baby together.
Or because you have a baby together. Don't marry because of that. Because if you put a because, then there's going to be an issue in that marriage. There cannot be a because.
Two wrongs never make a right.
Do you see? Oh, we did this, so we have to do this. We have to. No, don't do that, because at the end of the day, it's not going to work out well, all right? So, are you getting something out of this? Yeah, good. You're taking some notes in your head, eh? You're good, wonderful. Because what people admire, people who are working in good marriages and enjoying themselves. But these are the tips that you need to get so that you do it right. Because if you do it right from the beginning, then you're going to enjoy your marriage. Because marriage is beautiful if it can be enjoyed, not endured.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people are enduring it. It's like, oh God, did I really say yes to this joker? If I had known, you know. But at the end of the day, you can enjoy it if you do it right. If you follow these principles, then you're going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Okay? Also, don't marry into an unequal yoke. Don't marry into an unequal yoke. Bible says don't be unequally yoked. There is no way you can marry somebody who's going east and you're going west. All right? You know, a lot of people say, let me backslide and go get married. Now, I have seen, oh my God, that thing doesn't work. At the end of the day, there is so much trouble you wish you never started.
Yeah.
You know?
Very right. Very right. And the Bible says that two cannot walk together unless they be agreed. There has to be an agreement.
Yeah.
You see, you might be walking together, but it is a struggle because, you know, one is up here and another is down here. Your union is unequal. And many times it is unequal concerning faith. He wants to go out there, you know, and live in a life of sin, in a life of compromise. You want to fear God. You want to raise up your children in the things of God. You want to take your children to church. You want to take the children to the bar. It's going to be a huge mess.
It's going to be a huge mess.
Yes.
It's going to be a huge mess. You don't need to do that. The last thing is do not destroy your foundation.
Exactly.
Don't destroy your foundation.
And one of the most important foundations is openness and honesty. Yes. If you start lying to each other when you are down here, it's going to get worse as the years move on. You've got
the
to
lies
learn
are
how
going
to
to get
be,
bigger.
You've got to learn to be open and honest. You know, open
Don't
and honest.
say you are in Kiambu when you're in Limuru.
Be open and honest about your financial position. Don't try to impress her that you have a lot of money.
By the way, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. A lot of people don't speak the truth when it comes to that. Because it's like they want to impress the girl. So they don't say, I don't have money. In fact, I'm in debt. In fact, as we are right now, we're not in a good place. Many don't say that. And so they get married, and lo and behold, the man is full of debt. They are in trouble. Auctioneers are meeting them after the honeymoon. And the woman doesn't even know what to do. Why should you do that? Be open. Be naked and real.
And I think when you find that the person that you're with was lying to you at first, that's a sign of insecurity.
And at the end of the day, then trust becomes an issue. Right? Wow. Beautiful. Give it up.
Goes to Reverend Kathy. There's a friend of mine who asked me that the Bible says, greet each other with a holy kiss. So what does this mean to the youth, especially those who are relating? Thank you.
Well,
what is this holy kiss and how is it done?
With a holy kiss just means a peck. You just peck. You peck on the side. Not, you know, there's snogging and this holy kiss must be holy. It's just a tap over here, and don't get close. Don't get close now. Just leave it there.
Thank you.
Okay, this goes to all of you. About mentorship. Pastor Andrew, ni lini ulijua unataka mentor? Na after hiyo, what steps did you take to identify your mentor? And after that, how did you approach your mentor to accept to mentor you?
I like that. I like that. I like that.
I think I should begin by basically telling you what a mentor is. A mentor is someone who speaks into your life with the purpose of lifting you up from where you are to where you should be.
Right.
And many times it may not be a documented relationship. You may not have to go through a procedure to fill in a blue form, a green form,
and
a yellow form,
one.
To have someone as your mentor. Many times you should figure out for yourself, who is he that greatly influences me? Who speaks into my life? It doesn't have to be written anywhere. It doesn't have to have begun on this particular day, that from Saturday, they will be my mentor. But from the day you begin to receive their teachings. As for me, I met my man of God when I was much younger, and he became my mentor from the moment we met. When he spoke, I had the voice of wisdom. When he spoke, I had the voice of direction. When he spoke, I also had the voice of rebuke. Because your mentor is not just someone to celebrate you and to encourage you. They are also meant to rebuke you and to correct you without feeling obliged to sugarcoat their words or to mince their words. There should be people who freely can tell you the truth as it is, and you're able to receive from them. So I think your mentor is someone who you figure out speaks into your life, gives you correction, gives you instruction, gives you direction. You need not even have a personal relationship with them, because some of them you can never have an opportunity to sit down with them. But you can read their books. You can listen to their messages. You can be mentored by your mentor from a distance. And the beauty about it is that you decide who will speak into your life. And there are many good people that can speak into your life.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, it's so sad that a lot of, especially men, don't believe in being mentored because they think they have it all together and they know. But let me tell you, a life without a mentor is just a life of torment and misery. You need somebody who's above you, that you're going to go to them and humble yourself. And I'm not even talking about age. They could even be younger, but they're your mentors because they are spiritually ahead. And they need to be able to speak over your life and direct you and tell you what and what not to do. It's so important for everybody to have. In fact, if you're a man, if you're going to get married to somebody who doesn't have a mentor, you're in for trouble. It's trouble.
Yeah.
You know, when you know that I can take my husband and take him somewhere. Oh, you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Because if maybe he comes and beats on you or does weird things and there's nobody to tell, you can't talk to anybody, I mean, that's trouble right there.
Yeah.
So mentorship is so important. It's so key.
Very important.
Also, mentorship, I think you don't make the same mistakes. The people who've gone ahead of you have made certain mistakes that when they mentor you and correct you, you won't make the same mistakes they did. Because everything that has happened, is happening now, has happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God, it's my first time on the show, Women Without Limits, and it was off the hook. It was awesome, off of this world. I can't just...
Maybe you have principles that are so high and people mistake them to be pride.
Some people put the bar too high, that nobody can get there. The people who can get there are not yet born.